So, James, how did you and I come to work together, and with you becoming the managing director of By Design in South Devon? Talk to me about that.
So I've known you for probably 15 years, something like that.
It is, isn't it? I actually not thought about that, but you're right.
Yeah, and obviously worked with you through Fine and Country, my time there, and I was looking to do something for a little while for myself and set up my own business, and just looking at all the various options that were out there and how it would work. And I think for me, it was a case of the By Design kind of offering for me gave me the ability to get my own brand out there, my personality out there, kind of first and foremost, with the backup of a prestigious looking brand, and rather than the other way around. And it just gave me the tools that I needed to be, and the kind of flexibility that I wanted to be able to create the things that I do without kind of reprimand, if you like, but that I believe in and that I think are worthwhile investing in. And so it was an easy one for me, really, in terms of the kind of the network, the kind of overseas and the kind of portals abroad, all that kind of stuff was really important. Having a website already done, all those kind of things that were fairly big ticket items from a young business point of view setting up. It gave me the kind of support and the backup of that without taking over my brand.
Yeah, I think that balance is really important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think like the business brand should support the personal brand, but without that personal brand, it doesn't amount to very much. The two have to be complementary,
exactly.
And they're going to buy into you first and the brand second.
Yeah, and it just kind of supports what you're doing, doesn't it? It kind of gives you some kind of backup, really. And I think it's been really well really well received by clients. And ultimately, when clients are kind of appointing you as a person, it's not as important, but it kind of is really, in terms of they want to be up there with something that looks the part. And so with the By Design side of things and doing what we've done so far, it just sits really nicely, and it's kind of got this prestigious feel to it that it's exclusive. It's not kind of everywhere and all those kind of things. And for me, that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to be rack and stack, at the premium end of the market. We want the best of the best. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And so it works really nicely.
Yeah, it's not pile them high, sell them cheap, is it?
No.
Well, speaking of which, it's actually pretty much the opposite, isn't it? Because I think a matter of weeks, getting on a few months into it, and as we were saying on the podcast earlier, £18 million worth of instructions so far.
Yeah.
Off to a great start.
Yeah, it's great. And, I've got some amazing clients and supporters, actually, and a really strong network of people that, it actually surprised me when I kind of posted that I was leaving and setting this up, and how much support there actually is out there from people that you haven't probably spoken to for years. And it's like,
brilliant.
I had a client I sold to maybe 8 years ago contacted me and said, "Hey, I see you're doing your own thing. Give me the details so I can share them out." And and it's stuff like that. And there is this genuine kind of warmth from people that they want you to do well. And so the kind of inbound leads that I've had from existing clients and referrals from those clients, all of the stuff so far has been through connections, not through any prospecting or
outbound stuff.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, that is amazing. And so right now the business is you leading it out, and it's your personal brand. But in the future, what do you want that to look like in 1 or 2 or 3 years' time? Because you've got the area of sort of South Devon, and that encompasses some really nice parts of the world. Yeah. How are you going to manage that growth?
So I think for me, like the personal side of it right now is a massive focus, because I needed to get my name out there and into this brand. But as time goes on and those listings start building with By Design, then I wouldn't say it will swap over, but it will certainly become more brand and area rather than me and brand.
Yeah.
I think the personality and the person will always be there, but I think it will just slide a little bit in terms of getting the By Design brand out there more. So that's where I see it going, because then we've got, it doesn't matter then if we introduce somebody else into a kind of side area of what we've got. It's By Design, but it's known. I've just got to use my contacts and my name to launch us into that bit before we, before we start doing that.
And you're thinking in different parts of the area that you work in that you might engage with agents that might take on those areas?
It's got to be the right person. And it won't be a kind of this will be okay. One of my pet peeves in the industry, nothing is ever that'll do, and it's the same with everything I do, but especially with the people.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sitting there going, yeah, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
They've got to believe in the same way I do in terms of what we're trying to do for our clients. And actually, it might not even be their ambition to have their own business. They might not want that. They just might want to do a really great job for their customers, and that's what we're looking for. But so there's no major rush in that. We want to make it right and put a good foundation in place so that we can bring somebody on board who's got that kind of almost a pipeline before they've even started of properties in a patch.
Yeah.
And so that's the aim, really.
Very exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah, and it's it's broken me into territories that I've wanted to be in that I couldn't have been in before.
Yeah.
Where I've got clients who've always kind of been like, "Can you come and list my house?" No, I can't. I can now.
It's opened some more doors.
Massively, literally. It's been really good and really well received. So I'm very excited.
So James, I joined David's vision really a couple of years ago. That must have been a couple of years ago.
It's getting on for that,
and then I kind of had a premium brand, if you like, which was attached to my core brand and everything else. But what I really connected with was a network.
Yeah.
But a genuine one.
Mm-hmm.
One where you actually think you're talking to people that want you to do well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You're not in competition with each other or trying to shaft one another,
Yeah.
So tell me about, did that play some part?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, the thought of doing this kind of on your own, if you like, in an area where you haven't got anywhere to go, or anybody to bounce off or whatever is really tricky. I've got a business partner I'm working with, and I've got that locally, but actually in the premium market specifically, to be able to go to our WhatsApp group and say, hey, I've got this issue or that issue. Does anyone know how to do this? Can somebody jump on CRM and do this or that? It's like you've got a team without having to do it.
I'm very quiet in there, and I'm loving the support each other. Each of the agents are giving each other as owners of their own kind of business.
And this is the thing. I was, to be able to share the stuff that you're doing and the excitement in what you're doing and listings and all that stuff. It just breeds it, doesn't it? And I think the other side of it is things like on social media, for example. You're not just sharing it to your social media, you're sharing it to their social media, who's sharing it to their, so you know what I mean? It's like, it just goes on and on and on. So it's been a really big part of my kind of decision to come with iDesign was that kind of network and support and kind of encouragement, really.
Brilliant. Well, that's so important. I think it can feel very lonely otherwise, can't it?
Yeah, it can.
Yeah. Great stuff. Well done.
Thank you.